Hello guys, hopefully by now you have designed your logo and should have your question cards and your rules done. If that's the case, we're going to go on to designing the board. So I want you to open a new Illustrator page. And make sure it is set to A3. Go on landscape, as that's the setting that we'll be doing to print it out. If you want to do it portrait, you can, but you need to make sure you change the settings when we go to print it. Right, so first things first, we need to decide the size of your bases for your counters. Now here I'm doing them 10mm, so 1 centimetre. You can see it looks quite small on the A3 page, but that is fine. It just means you've got more space to do different steps. If you hold the left mouse button down on the shape tool, you can change and choose different shapes for your steps. Make sure you've got at least 10mm. Anything smaller will end up being a choking hazard for your clients. So you've got squares, circles, you can go down to polygon tool and choose how many sides you want if you want something else. But this one is radius, so that is from the middle out. If, for example, you wanted a centimetre shape, you'd have to use a 5mm radius. Okay, so choose what you want to do for the base of your counter. You should have an idea from your design pages though. So delete the ones you don't want, or just draw the one you do want, and copy and paste it and place them around the page so it resembles something that looks a bit like your design idea that you hand drew. Excuse me. Okay, so you will want a start and a stop section to make it nice and obvious for people where they're going. You should have that on your designs. I'm going to do mine nice and big compared to the stepping stone so it's more obvious for the player. It makes it more user friendly. So I'm going to use the whole of the A3 page to create my board. You don't have to. That is, however, the maximum size you can make because that's the biggest we can print to. Alright, let's pretend that I've finished and I've covered the board in all of the spaces that I want. So all of the spaces of the counters are done. We then need to start looking at adding colour. So you can have a solid fill colour with your choice of outline, or you can go to the side and use the gradient tool. You've got some existing ones, or you can have it linear or radial, and then change the colour by double clicking on the tabs at the bottom. Make sure you're using colours that match your colour scheme and that they reflect what you have done in your design ideas. Now on this section here, feel free to have a play and look round, choose things, see what happens. If you do something and you don't like it, you can do Control, hold it down and press Z. That will undo anything you don't like. Personally, I like this shadow one that I've shown you before. You can preview before you click OK on anything. The shadow makes it look a little more 3D, like it's standing out on top of other things. So if I change this to brown and I decide that it's going to be little stepping stones on top of water, it will look like the stepping stones are above the water. I'm going to put a solid background behind them. Okay, so you can see that the shadow makes things stand out from the background. Supposing you have chosen your background, you've done your steps, you've got a start and a finish, you'll start to need adding other bits and pieces to it. It could be decoration, like images of characters that you've designed or got from the internet and modified. Alternatively, you've got your logo that you need to include somewhere, whether you have it in the middle or off to the side. Again, try and make it reflect what you've got from your hand-drawn designs that you've done before. You've also, and this is a choice, you don't have to do it, but you've also got your question card that you can put on. If you copy and paste the outline of your question card and put it on here, it can serve as a place for them to go whilst people are playing your game. It can make it a bit more user friendly, a bit easier for younger children to keep things safe and organised. Again, you don't have to do that. If you do it, you need to do it the same size as you're going to actually print them in real life though, otherwise they will be different sizes when you come to put them on the board. You don't want to have question cards that are one size and a space on the board for them to go that is different. You have to make sure they're the same. What I suggest you do is that you choose the size of your question cards and then put the question card outline on here afterwards. See me if you need help with working that out. Now, once you've finished this and you've got your idea down, you need to save it and then create your developments much like you've done for your logo before already. Try and aim for 6 if you can.